Probably wondering, well, the truth of the matter is, well, first of all, if I sound a bit nervous, it's because I'm a bit nervous, because, as I said at the start, this programme comes from Peel Acres, and Jarvis and Nick out of Pulp are going to come down here and play a few tracks from the new LP, and also talk to us about this and that, and it's fairly nerve-wracking business, to be perfectly honest with you, and the whole household is wildly overexcited. So, in addition to that, we're going to be playing the very first session that Pulp recorded for this programme on the 18th of November, 1981, which I think you'll find quite interesting. That comes up in just a moment, or a portion of it does. This is Eggplant. Outside waiting for Jarvis and Nick to put in an appearance, but of course what she's actually doing is sitting in the other room watching MTV, which is what she always does when her dad's on the radio. First of that Pulp session from the 18th of November 1981. Astonishing stuff. That's Pulp recorded on the 18th of November 1981 for this programme. Turkey Mambo Mama was the title of the track. This is here, and I mean, you're probably thinking, being hard-bitten and cynical, you're probably thinking they're sitting there already. They set up all of this in advance, but they really aren't here, and it's not an easy place to find this, I have to say. So I'm looking out of the window to see if I can see anything. All I can see is, well, a field with a rather bored horse in it, but hopefully Jarvis and Nick will be here shortly, anyway, to play us tracks from the new Pulp LP and to answer a series of penetrating questions. Here's some more neat guitar playing. Still my tip for the single of the year. That's Pulp, of course, and Sorted. And you're back with Radio 1, you're back with our Pulpathon from Peel Acres, and we're waiting for Nick and Jarvis to turn up, and a car has just gone past the window, so I think I'll wander out to the driveway to see if it's them. Watch out for this dog here, Bernard, because he does occasionally nip people, but not terribly hard. He's fairly friendly. He tries to round you up.
Yeah, boy. He's wagging his tail, that's always a good sign.
Not necessarily. I think I wouldn't count on that.
Oh, hold on.
Welcome to Peel Acres. There's members of the family here. You don't need to know who they are, really. Yes, good evening, members of the family. Into the studio.
It's all very nice in here, isn't it?
Yes, actually, it's well, we like it, you know. It's
homely.
Homely is exactly what it is. Yeah.
Few cups. Have you won those yourself, or?
Yes, that's the trophy cupboard.
Yeah, top disc jockey, British John Peel, melody maker, 1968. Yeah, very nice.
Yes, it's embarrassing. Really,
the silver.
I mean, obviously, it's nice to have them all. Obviously, there's not a single one there I regret. But there are some of the most tasteless objects.
Well, that slab of onyx on a bit of wood. Yeah. That's special, isn't it? That one?
And the watch parts in plastic there.
Oh, right.
See that on the right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the sunburst, you see the sunburst behind it?
Sunburst?
At the back?
Yeah. What's that for?
Frankly, I can't
Look
remember.
Look at that, the little mini mic.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Bit of teak.
It is, yeah, it's marvellous, that.
Yes, rainforest being decimated.
Just keep it all well dusted.
That's right.
That's
absolutely.
Yeah. One or two of them look like they could do a bit of Duraglit on them.
It's certainly true, yeah. Right, well, what are we going to do? We're going to listen to some tunes from the new LP and ask you a lot of searching and embarrassing questions.
Okay.
And somehow try and fill up the next hour of this programme, really. That's what we've got to do, isn't it? That's what the contract says. And we have no choice, I'm afraid. Right, that's I Spy from the new Pulp LP, and it's rather embarrassing, this, because Nick and Jarvis are sitting behind. I forgot his name there for a moment. Get so used to these pop stars filling their house. Sitting behind me, and the only way I can speak to them face to face is if they go outside the window, or I grab the microphone and move it round so I can at least see them out of the corner of my eye. Hold on a second.
Hello.
Hello there. Right, let's talk of having played a track from the new LP. I've forgotten the title of the new LP as well, in addition to forgetting your name.
Different Class, it's called.
Obviously, you weren't in the band, Nick, when that first session was done, but...
No, not all those years ago. I mean, that was going back to the dawn of...
81, yeah. 81?
What would you be doing in
1981, I think I'll have just about... Probably in the transition between sort of finishing comprehensive school and going to sixth form college.
So do you remember anything about this session at all, Jarvis?
I remember lots of things about it.
Well, tell us the story of it, really. I'll take my glasses off.
Well, the way it came about was, I don't know if you used to do your road shows. Do you still do them?
No, not anymore. I do it once a year, by and large, at the public baths, Scunthorpe, because I've got a mate who runs the venue up there, and he's a really nice man. And when the opportunity presents itself like this, when somebody says, "Do you still do gigs, John?" I can say yes at the public baths, Scunthorpe, and it usually gets a bit of a titter.
Yeah, well, I came down to that. It was 50p to get in. It was at Sheffield Poly, and I gave you a tape that we'd done. It was the first demo tape we'd ever done, and you said you listened to it in the car on the way home, and I thought, I wonder about that. And then...
No, I do. I'm very dutiful.
Well, that was it. And then about a week and a half later, I got a phone call at my mum's house from your producer saying that they wanted us to come and do a session. So we were very excited because we were all still at school. We got a bit on the front page of the Sheffield Star. They wanted to take pictures of us in school uniform and stage gear, you know, like before and after. But we refused to do that. And
Frightening.
and then we came down and did it. Like it was quite funny because we didn't even have proper equipment. I remember we borrowed a bass amp off this person who had lots of money and that, and we had a graphic equaliser on it. We didn't know what one of them was. So.
I'm still not entirely certain, I must admit. It's one of those things you hear people say, graphic equalisation, and you think, yes, certainly.
So consequently, we just couldn't make it work properly. So there's hardly any bass on the session.
Well, I must admit, we've played one track so far into the programme while we were waiting for you, and it sounded pretty good to me. The sound was, better than I'd imagined.
Well, I've not heard it for years because I lost my tape of it many years ago, so I remember...
Well, unfortunately, the BBC being the BBC, we'd like to give you another one, Jarvis, but I'm afraid it's out of the question. That's can't be done, that sort of thing.
It was Dale Griffin, the ex-Motley Hoople drummer, who did the...
Did you get on with him all right? Because he did have rows with people.
Well, I just think he kind of thought we were just... well, we were just a bunch of daft kids, because I was the oldest one. I was 17, I think, and the drummer was 15. I remember the main bit where he had this look of disgust on his face was when we had this this synth drum that, used to get them things in practical electronics where it'd teach you how to build your own synth drum, and it was like made out of an old electronic calculator with one of them burglar alarm mats, those pressure-sensitive mats that you have under the carpet. And so we're in the middle of this quite, we'd never been in a proper studio, but in this quite posh studio. And then there's the drummer just sat there hitting this mat with the calculator attached to it, and this stupid noise coming out. And I think he just thought, I'd like this to finish soon so I can go home.
Right, well, perhaps we ought to play another tune play you a tune, because you've not heard any of these things. Play another one from from that session from 1981. I've forgotten which one it's going to be, but... Well, that's your Pulp from 1981, and that was called Refuse to Be Blind. Was there a voice? I missed the voice at the end.
Come on, you heard about that. When the Dalek comes in and it goes...
Oh, no, that's how disappointing. I don't know how to work this machinery, so I can put it on again. OK, well, you found that a faintly painful experience, didn't you, Jarvis, to be honest? I think wrongly. I don't think bearing in mind it was 1981, I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of with that. But talk us through it, as they say in
I'm just
sport.
saying that's the main thing that gets... it's probably because I'm the singer, and so... when you hear your own voice and stuff like that, it just sounds like I'm trying too hard, and it's like finding like a bit of poetry that you wrote when you were 17. You always try and say everything about the world in 3 sentences, don't you? And it's always seems a bit too much. But the main thing that irritates me on that one, well, that makes me kind of squirm, was I just remembered we didn't know how to finish the song, and we were looking at all the bits of exciting machinery that were in the studio that we'd never seen before. And saying, what does that one do?
Like swinging doors and things.
That's it, yeah. And
and upstairs.
The bloke started turning this knob, and then the voice started going, this kind of thing. And it sounded like a Dalek, and we thought that was really good. And so we made him do that, even though he didn't really want to. And we thought it was great, and we went back up to Sheffield in the van thinking that was really fantastic. And then...
So what were your expectations at the time? Did you think this was going to be a passport to fame and fortune, and ultimately to the London Palladium, or what?
Well, I did, yeah. That's and the thing is, nothing. It's not your fault or anything, but that was the main.
We need to bring this out into the open. This settled.
That was the main piece of armoury in my kind of case to my mother for saying that I didn't want to go to university. I had a place to go and do English at Liverpool University, but I really wanted to do the band, you see. So that was kind of a bit of ammunition because we'd been on national radio, so I thought, oh yes, I can be a child star,
Yeah.
I thought it was all going to happen.
And now you are.
So she allowed me to not go to, I deferred my place and stayed in Sheffield to do the band. But unfortunately, the thing is, nobody else's parents were that kind of liberal, and especially there was our keyboard player who really wanted to stay. But his dad was a headmaster of a school, and he brought it up, the subject, at the dinner table, and his dad chucked his dinner at him. So that was the end of that argument.
Another
you know.
promising career. Isn't it? I was going to say in ashes, but probably in spaghetti. Or something. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, I mean, I see. I would have sworn. I mean, this is very embarrassing for me, but I can say it to you now. I mean, I would have sworn. You know, when things started to go well, the first time I sort of became aware of Pulp again was when I saw you supporting The Fall at Cambridge, and it was a really good gig. And I came back thinking that's really good, and I thought, we must have had loads of sessions from you over the years, you know. So I went to look at Ken Garner's book, and there's just at that stage there was just the one.
Oh, yeah.
You must have thought, there he picks us up, toys with us, plays with us, has his way with us, and abandons us.
Yes, I did think that sometimes. I mean, it was just, you can't force anybody into doing something, can you? You know.
It's one of those things where if somebody had said to us, it's been a long time since you had Pulp. They said, actually, it is. Let's get him in. As it was something like 14 years. A bit too long, I think. Yeah. So he must have been bitter. But anyway, let's move on to the. I mean, obviously now things are going. Well, it must seem extraordinary to you, really. I mean, the fact that now everybody's going balmy for you. The fact that the record company has granted us 4 exclusive tracks of the LP that we can play into this programme. One of them's coming up in just a moment, listeners, don't worry. And but it must seem most odd to you to find yourself in this position after 10, 12 years of nobody really paying a great deal of attention.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it's that thing you don't know how life's going to turn out. But like I think we were talking about earlier, I think that's quite good that you don't know how things are going to turn out. If I could see my life mapped out in front of me, I'd probably kill myself because it'd be too boring, knowing what to expect.
But there aren't many people who would have stuck, who would have stuck at it for that length of time, being by and large ignored.
We've got very limited imaginations, And it wasn't like we'd sat in a room in Sheffield for 12 years thinking, why aren't we famous? I mean, we all kind of did other things, life kind of intervened and we all,
When did you get involved in it, Nick, anyway? I should have some kind of press release so that I know all of these things and pretend that
I kind of got involved in sort of about the end of 1986, sort of start of 1987 time. So,
how did Johnny come lately?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like I've gate crashed the party. No, it was just a case of, something like the third incarnation of Pulp collapsed in acrimony, and I just, kind of knew Jarvis and Russell from, just going out in Sheffield and getting drunk and things, and just sort of said, I'll have a go if you don't mind.
We turned up with an English Bull Terrier, that was the thing. It came for like an audition, and me and Russell were there at my mum's, and he turned up and there was this white English Bull Terrier behind him, so I thought he brought his dog with him, but it just followed you from a bus stop, hadn't it?
Something like that, yeah, it was just, it wouldn't leave us alone.
Of a musical song.
Well, that's so instead of having an audition, like saying, play us, what you can do, it was like, well, before we can do anything, we've got to get rid of this Bull Terrier, because Jarvis's house had a dog which was going crazy. So we had to run around the neighbourhood trying to get rid of this dog.
We went to police first, but that was closed. So in the end, we just looked for a house that looked reasonably neat and tidy so they wouldn't butcher it or something.
And had an enclosed driveway.
Yeah, and we just chucked it over the wall.
It was very sad, but it was...
No, but that was good, because then we found out that we could get on, and so that was it. We didn't even hear him playing his drum.
Well, once again, I've forgotten which machine the new LP is on, but I think it's this one. How long is this next track, Jarvis, from memory? The next one we're going to play, Live Bed Show?
Live Bed Show's about 3:31, I'd say.
Exactly 3:31.
You like that?
I've got the figure here.
Right, in that case, it's this machine here. That is impressive. That's another tune from the new Pulp LP, being heard exclusively here at Peel Acres and on your radio, of course, on fabulous Radio 1, Station of the Stars, your musical host from coast to coast, all that kind of thing. What was that one called, Jarvis?
Live Bed Show.
So it was. Right, OK. Well, now we're going to, not for a live bed show, I'm sure, but we're going to wander about the house a bit, and I'm going to show you some of the extraordinarily impressive pop artefacts that I've accumulated over the years.
And the toilet, hopefully.
And the toilet, too, yes. Well, in fact, funnily enough, there's a story there, my goodness me. I'll close this microphone and we'll set off for a bit of a walk. Right, well, wandering through the... beautifully appointed. Look, that's a great spider. Actually, see that spider down there? That is a good.
Have your hand off that?
Yes, it is a good. It's obviously living in the country, you get a lot of those. This is the first really interesting thing that we've got here. This is picture of me at school.
And which
See,
one,
see,
yeah.
if you can spot which one it's me. So I think I look rather impressive. I'm sorry there's not much light here.
Peel Minor. Where is it?
Because I like to think, I look a bit like Anthony Perkins in it, there's a clue.
Oh.
And,
Have you got specs on?
no.
Right.
And another clue. That's the one. That's
Yeah,
it.
got him,
But
yeah.
I like to think that if you looked at this,
You're looking a bit dapper there.
Yeah.
Individuality.
yeah, slightly different colours, slightly lighter colour suit,
yeah.
which in those days was a revolutionary thing to do in a big way.
It's got a very good cut to it.
It's a good cut. But I think if you'd looked at this photograph and you'd have said, well, this bounder's not going to get anywhere. Because all of these other lads now, things like Lords Lieutenant of Counties and so on, except for, hold on a second, where is he? Do you recognise that bloke there?
Oh, Michael Palin,
Yeah. This is the room where I do all of my work, so called at work, where the records are and so forth. You see. So this is there and all of those there, and that's the unheard vinyl there.
You've got a bit to go at then.
I've got a bit to go. Yes. I should have said to you, like, are there any records that you'd like to hear? But that's rather stupid because you wouldn't know how to find them. But is there anything particular that you think there's a record? I bet he's got it. That you'd like.
Actually, there is, because I was recently on holiday and we watched this puppet show, and it had a puppet singing this song, and my girlfriend wants a copy of it.
Just going to sound like something that I'm not going to have.
Well, it was a puppet, a little Mexican puppet singing, "The hat I got for Christmas is too big," in a Mexican accent. Obviously, it just came to that you're the person that might.
Just sing us a bit of it.
It's like, "The hat I got for Christmas is too big." And it kind of goes on like this, various,
great,
and it's, you know, it
comes
comes down over.
I wish I'd been there.
It comes down over his eyes, and he can't see anything. He ends up marrying his brother for some strange reason, and it was sung by a puppet in Sri Lanka. So.
What about a half Japanese record? Because when I used to listen to your programme, I used to tape them off the radio. The first one, Murder by Guitar.
No, that wasn't half Japanese. Murder by Guitar was. Stanley.
Murder by Guitar.
Hold on, I've got to, I'll get my book down here. It wasn't Murder by Guitar, wasn't half Japanese.
We're off.
No, I'm not going to remember now. Let's go through to,
Perhaps we'll work on that one.
We'll work on that one. So far, this has been a bit of a failure, hasn't it, really? Like one record that I've never heard and another one that I can't remember. I'll take you to the CD extension and the 78. You can pick a 78 to choose. I just have this 78 put into my studio, so you can...
Here we are. Cinch Records.
Oh, that's incredible.
Let's All Go Mad by Billy Williams.
Right, well, that little gem was Let's All Go Mad, Billy Williams, with orchestral accompaniment, of course, on the Cinch record label. And that is a pretty ancient record, and it says comic. It says English comic, but possibly English, but not very comic, I think, to be fair. I mean, but back in those days, they probably found it quite hilarious. You'll be impressed to hear... Do you want to take that, Jarvis, while I get myself organised over here? You'll be impressed to hear that while that was going on, I remembered who Murder by Guitar was by. It's by Crime. Would you like to hear
I'd love
that?
to hear it, yeah, I mean, it must be from around the same kind of time.
What, Billy?
No, it's half Japanese.
Oh, right. Oh, yes, I think that's probably true. Anyway, here we go. I'd not be able to hold my head up in society if I hadn't remembered who that was by. That was Crime, Murder by Guitar. Did it sound as good as ever to you?
Sounded right. I mean, it's funny, you know, it's probably like 16 years or something since I heard that song.
Yeah.
I can remember singing it in the bedroom. Seemed like a very exciting idea at the time. Really,
Well, we're going, yes, of course. And, well, it still is, I think, too, yeah. Going back in time here, I hate to bring this up, but while I was looking for records, I found... was this your very first single, Everybody's Problem?
No, that was his second single.
Oh, this was yeah. Well, this picture on the back. I mean, I know we all change a lot, but do you want to first of all describe how you look?
Well, this is what I look like. I've got quite a lot of hair, and it's mostly sticking up, and a beard.
But it's not just a beard, though, is it? I mean, it's a bit left bank, isn't it?
Well, the funny thing about this beard was I grew it, and I didn't really know why. And I used to get the piss taken out of me in the fish market where I was working at the time for having it. And then I found, my dad left home when I was younger and stuff, and I found his old student union card from when he was exactly the same age as me at this time. And he had exactly the same beard as well, and I'd never known that he had that beard.
That is, yeah, that's very strange. I wonder whether Al William will grow a beard like mine in a couple of years' time, because I used to have one that was sculpted, you know, where I had sort of bits cut out of it and things to try and make it look more interesting. Didn't work, alas, but there you go. Right, well, let's talk about the present time, the new LP, all that kind of stuff, because obviously that's what you're here to do, is to drag you all the way out here to promote the new record. But first of all, you stayed in Björk's house, or as you pronounced the other day,
Björk.
Björk, yeah. She will be forever Björk in our household, I'm afraid, since then. But what was our house like then? Dare you tell us about it?
I mean, the thing was, it's not like a show busy thing where I'd know her really well. It was at that Top of the Pops thing. I'd already booked my holiday to go to Iceland, and I thought, well,
sorry to interrupt you, but there can't be many people who book holidays in Iceland, are there?
Because it's been so hot this summer, and I was sick of this heat, especially in London, where it just kind of hangs on you like a wet blanket. And I thought, I want to go somewhere where it's a bit cooler. And then, of course, in my mind, I thought, ice is cool. Iceland, therefore, must be cool too.
Should have gone on to university. An opportunity, mate.
So I decided to go and I booked my holiday, and then I was presenting it and I saw she was on. And so I just, in between rehearsals, I went to her dressing room and asked her to mark some interesting places to go. And then it just by coincidence, it turned out that her mum, who usually stays in her house when she's not there, was over in England. She said, oh, well, you can stay at my house if you want. So, which was very nice of her, obviously.
Is it tell us about the house. I mean, is it a strange sort of pop star's house?
The main thing you'd notice when you went in would be that there's this massive kind of chandelier with all candles that come in. It's like a kind of a central cast iron ball with stems that come off it, and it must be, I don't know, 8 feet in circumference or something, and it's got all these loads and loads of candle holders on it, and that's quite intimidating. I didn't really like walking underneath that because I kept thinking it might fall on my head or something. You could fit my flat into it about, I don't know, 6 times.
Right. Okay, well, let's play another one of your tunes, and I think I've got the right one set up this time, so let's go. I suppose I would have a little jingle that goes exclusive, but I've left it somewhere else. I don't know where it is. That's Pulp, of course, track from the new LP, Feeling Called Love, the title of the track. It's a second song, but this is the second one that I've heard that mentions breasts. Is this your new direction? You're right, it's your old direction, Jarvis, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, you talk about heading back to the...
Well, I mean, so sex, sex does play a substantial part in your music. I mean, you didn't hear it in a lot of Cure.
I wanted to play a substantial part in my life, I'm trying as hard as I can.
Right, and you reckon this is the way to do it, do you?
I'm open.
Well, do the promo stuff now. If this was a proper talk show and you're invited on to talk about the new LP, to sell the new LP, what would you tell us about?
Well, it's coming out in October.
Right. Nice.
There's
one,
a start.
Nice.
That's a start, isn't it?
Good.
The actual date.
It's October the 23rd.
That's the
Nick.
one. That's the one.
When it comes out. But I don't know. It's
all formats.
It's a bit hard for us to talk about at the moment because we only finished it about like 2.5 weeks ago. But I believe it to be a major contribution to,
road safety,
world culture. It's.
We're quite confident that other people are going to like it other than just ourselves.
Yeah, and I think you're probably right about that. Would it be true to say that you revelled in Glastonbury? Because you certainly gave the impression of a man who was revelling in the experience. I mean, I was about a mile back, jumping up.
I was crapping myself, though. I mean, it was the most nervous I've ever been for a concert ever, I think.
There was certainly, for us out there, for us eager consumers, there was no indication of that.
Professionalism.
I know, yeah, but it's like... Because I remembered, like, about 10 minutes before we were going to go on, I ended up being so nervous that I just sat on a chair and held on to the sides of it because I was convinced I was going to have an accident and break my hand or something. I wouldn't be able to go on. So I thought, if I just stay on this chair and hold on to it as tight as I can, then nothing bad can happen to me and we'll still be able to go on stage. And, it was just... I wasn't thinking... very rationally. Once we went on, it was great, but I was very scared.
A bit of a triumph, I think. It
was all right. I mean, it just seemed a bit like it was one of those things where we didn't expect to play it, because obviously that stuff happened with the Stone Roses. And it just seemed kind of like fate to play. The song that I was looking forward to playing most was Sorted Freeze and Whiz because we'd only written that about 2 weeks before, and it seemed like totally appropriate to play it the first time there. And so it just all... I mean, I don't really believe in fate and things, but in that particular instance... It
was one of those great pop moments,
wasn't it?
It
came together.
Other people who were in this room were present on that occasion and can confirm that. It was just the right thing in the right place at the right time. Having said that, it's now time to play perhaps the wrong thing, and there's another one of the old tunes. This one's Wishful Thinking. Any thoughts on Wishful Thinking?
Again, it's another one that embarrasses me because it's a very direct kind of love song, and it kind of... I remember who it's about, and it just gets me, but it's all right,
Okay. That's Pulp 1981 Styley and Wishful Thinking, recorded for this programme back in 1981. Those sessions after that, of course, for something like 14 years, but we've been through all of that. Of course, the main reason for asking Nick and Jarvis to come along to Peel Acres to do this programme with me is really nothing to do with the promotion of the LP or anything like that, or even really to get a radio programme out of it, but it's just so that some elements amongst my family can say that, you know, members of Pulp came to their house and brag about this at school. So this is our Alexandra here, and Flossie behind her, my nephew John there, and Aidan, who's Alexandra's boyfriend. Have any of you got any questions you'd like to ask these two pop luminaries? Right, okay, well, that's their interviewing techniques are modelled on their fathers, frankly, and kind of chip off the old block, I think. Did you ever hear, now this is an important thing, did you ever hear, there was another band called Pulp, wasn't there, before you came along?
Yeah, I remember that. Well, we already existed. I remember seeing a review of a record.
Easy to say that now.
No, this is true, honest. I would say it to the day I die, but I remember we existed, and then I used to buy the Enemy and stuff like that, and I think I saw a review of this record, and the Enemy, you know, was kind of done in. I thought, oh, we're going to have to change our name, and then they never seemed to do anything else afterwards, so we thought, oh, we can still keep it. But I never, as far as I know, I mean, maybe if you're going to play it now, I might find out that I have heard it, but to my knowledge, I've never heard it.
Right, okay, I can't, what's it called? Because you remember what it's called.
Flying Aircraft.
Low-flying aircraft, you're exactly right. Well, I reckon you nicked one or two of your ideas from that. I've not heard it much on the radio recently. Capital Gold, I think, played it last weekend, but...
It weren't too bad, I mean, it went on a...
Yeah, but very much in the spirit of the age, again. So that's the alternative Pulp. Well, listen, thanks very much for coming along. This is when I turn you back into the lane and you try and find your way back to London. Thanks very much for coming along. You're the first... band, I think, that's ever actually been... No, so we've got some mates in Holland who are in a band. They came, and David Gedge out of The Wedding Present came and had a cup of tea with us once. You're the first band that we've ever had in the house, so thanks very much for coming along. And
We've tried not to dirty things.
No, as I
anything
say,
yet.
we'll check your pockets and things on the way out just to make sure that you've not taken anything that we'd like to keep. But what can I say other than, as I said, thanks very much for coming along. And in this house, we all think they're pretty neat, don't we?
Thank you.
97.
Them and just left cigarette smoke hanging in the early evening, one or two tear-streaked young faces, a lot of food scattered about all over the house, and loads of empty wine bottles. And we still have a track from the new LP and a track from that old 1981 session to play you as well. That'll come up in just a moment. At the Reading Festival, Mark Arm out of